Greetings everyone, and welcome to our next module, Module 6. Last week we looked at emotions and status. As college students, we're all kind of expected to be rational, and the emotional side is not supposed to play a role in the academic work that we do, but we know we're all emotional creatures. We're not just purely rational creatures. So we had a chance to look at that last week, and also to consider the connection between emotions and status. Status is extremely important in any society. There's always a pecking order, and those pecking orders are context related. So, as I mentioned last week, the status of student and the status of professor are good examples of status gradations, but we find them in families, parent, child. We find them in the workplace, boss, employee. They're all over the place, coach and player. And emotions are connected to those as well. How we behave emotionally is related to our status. Parents aren't supposed to throw a temper tantrum, but if a small child does, it's not out of context with our expectations for small children. So I hope you found that interesting. I enjoyed the discussion that we had last week as well. I gave you the instructions for our second paper, which is not due until the very end of the term, Module 9, but I hope you had a chance to look at that and begin thinking about how you're going to do your paper. This week we turn our attention to a topic that we're going to actually spend some time on over 2 weeks. Power and authority, those are key elements in any society. What is power? What is authority? How is it exercised? What are the circumstances under which they are exercised? And again, we see that in many relationships in society. Family, again, is a good example of the way in which power and authority are exercised and how they are related. In the university context, in the workplace, in the military, in politics, all kinds of situations are great examples of both of those concepts. So we'll be looking at those, and there are a couple of videos that I think you'll find interesting. One of them is on the famous Milgram experiment. You're going to be reading about it, but you'll also see an interesting video on the experiment. It created a lot of controversy within the field, the academic field, but it's also very, very revealing and thought-provoking. We'll also see a video on social media and how it influences us. The power of social media is pretty much undeniable, and we'll get a chance to think about some of the ways in which it exerts influence over our behavior. Next week, Module 7, you'll be turning in your projects, so I hope you're coming along well on those. Again, if you have any questions about the project, don't hesitate to send them to me. I'll be happy to answer whatever questions you have. And by the way, with regard to the papers, of course I graded and returned them to you. There were some really outstanding papers. I appreciate the effort that everybody invested in the work that they did. I enjoyed reading them, and I'm already looking forward to seeing what you can do on our final paper of the term due in the last week. That's going to be on justice, and I encourage you to take a look ahead at Chapter 11 because that will help you in crafting that final paper. Okay, so we'll also have a discussion that I will enjoy, I'm sure, as I do every week. I really look forward to those and reading some of your thoughts and ideas. So anyway, I hope everyone has a great week, and don't hesitate to send me any questions you have as always. Okay,